Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a bit about of my anxiety. If you didn't know, I have anxiety and I've had it for quite a while, and if the type of anxiety has changed over the years. It used to be like I'd have a panic and I could go back to the situation, but over the years it's kind of I've had a panic and I don't go in the situation again, and that's pretty much it. I think I've always been quite an anxious child. I remember just after my mum and dad split up, so I'd have been about 6, 7-ish, so quite little, like only just starting school. I would get really clingy with one or the other parent, like if I was over at each other's houses, so if I was at my dad's house I'd get really clingy with him, if I was at my mum's house I'd be with her, and I didn't want to be with anyone else. So like I've got 2 step parents, so a stepmom and a stepdad, and I didn't want to get left with them. So as I got older, I got used to the fact that I was an anxious person, and if you saw me like from the outside living in kind of thing, you would just think I was shy and quiet and just was a bit of a loner, which is not true. I do like having friends and I do like going out. It's just, it takes me a lot to get out, and it takes me a lot to do videos like this. Like everyone thinks doing YouTube videos is really easily done, and all you need to do is sit in front of your phone and off camera and ramble on for 10 minutes or something like that. But somebody has anxiety, you think about once it gets posted, will people like it, that kind of thing. And I'm learning to just live with it kind of thing. So as I got older I got used to being anxious. It was just a kind of day-to-day thing, and what made me anxious, like what my trigger points would be, was if I was running late. So like school, if I was running late I'd freak. My sister can vouch for that. I'd freak out and I'd be like, no, I can't go to school, I'm late, I don't want to be late, I just said I'd not be in, that kind of thing. That's why my attendance was so bad. Other things, if I'm trying to think, or if it's somewhere new, like I'm still like, if it's somewhere new you get a bit anxious, like everyone gets a bit anxious if it's somewhere new, but for me it was like, so this is normal people's anxiety about something new, this is me like past the camera vision. I would be through the roof with anxiety and thinking, oh, what if there's no one to talk to, what if there's nowhere to sit, what if I can't get out, all these things run through my head. And they still do when I go to new things. I don't really go to many new things now because I don't like going to new things, I just avoid it, which I'm trying not to do because you can't really avoid everything. When I started doing YouTube, I had a YouTube account from 2014, so now it's 2017, and this is me just starting to get my YouTube kind of started up because I was so anxious of thinking, how am I going to start it, how is it going to pan out, that kind of thing. And now it's just kind of, yeah, it's not doing anything right now, but it might in the future. If you see a TV screen on my glasses, I'm really sorry, I'm watching Friends. It's turned down. So yeah, I've had a couple of panic attacks in my life. I don't remember anyone in high school or like that. I'd get panicky, but not panic attacks that I'd have to leave the room or anything like that. So I'd call this my first major panic attack was when I was in college. Excuse me. So I would have been, I think 17, something like 3 years ago. I was about 17. It was my placement and it was lunchtime. So I just done a nursery class for a special needs school in my local area. And I just finished doing that, and then after lunch I was going to go up to the primary school version of it because it was a nursery then, it was primary. And for some reason it made me really panic, and it made me really like shaky and felt sick, and it was awful. I remember phoning my mum going, I'm not feeling well, I just want to go home. I say not feeling well, but I mean feeling really anxious. So dog started barking, had to stop for a second. So where was I? I was about talking about what happened when I had that panic attack in college. So I phoned my mum, I told her I was feeling sick. That's how I say what I say when I'm not feeling too great with my anxiety. I just remember feeling quite dizzy, quite shaky. I couldn't feel fingers, couldn't feel my toes. I kind of went on almost like a blackout almost, but I didn't black out. It was fine. And I didn't stop feeling anxious until I seen my stepdad come in his car to pick me up. And I think that would have been about 5 minutes, but for me it felt like a lifetime. It was like it was taking forever to get there, and I was just feeling more and more anxious the longer, because I was thinking of what if the people come out and see me standing there and I'm not coming into the class, like that kind of thing. That was the first major panic attack I ever had. I've had another one since then. So my second one was, I think it was last year, so it would have been last May or something. It was my friend's my friend's birthday. Can't remember what year it was. 19th, I think. And the plan was to go out to Glasgow, and I'd never been out to Glasgow before this. I had no problem with this, and I was like, right, let's go. And if you hear dogs bark, I'm really, really sorry. I've got 5 dogs downstairs barking their heads off at each other. Sorry. And it's Charlie who won't shut up. So when we were going to Glasgow, it was just normal. We got the bus in, I think we got the bus in. So that was different for me. I can't remember exactly what happened that night, but I think we got a bus in, or we got the taxi in, or whatever. But it was like a group of us. We went to different types of clubs, and in one particular club, I started feeling panicky. And I just remember getting worse and worse and worse as the kind of minutes went on. One of my friends noticed that I was kind of really quiet and I wasn't talking much, and she said, "Do you want to go to the bathroom for a second?" And I'm like, "Yep, let's go to the bathroom." I told her I was feeling panicky. I told her about the anxiety, because not many of my friends really know that I have anxiety, and if they do, not all of them understand it. It's not their fault, they just don't have it, that's all. And I'm not blaming them for anything, but if you don't have anxiety, you really don't know what's going on with somebody who has anxiety. That's the kind of thing. So I remember being in the bathroom, been really upset because this was my friend's birthday and I was ruining it. It wasn't a friend that came at the toilet. It was another friend who was with us. She came into the toilet with me and was like, "It's okay, just sit here as long as you want. She won't care. She's having fun anyway. Then we'll go back out. We'll do it again and see how it is." We moved closer to the bathroom, so then if I felt panicky, she could just take me into the toilet quite quickly, and that was quite nice. I felt quite reassured. Then I went in the bathroom and I was like, I couldn't take much more. I kept feeling really anxious. I kept feeling panicky. It wasn't fun. And the friend who was the birthday party for, the birthday night out for, she came in the bathroom going, "What's wrong? What's wrong?" I'm like, "I'm feeling really anxious. I'm really sorry, but I can't stay in the club much longer. I'm going to end up freaking out and running out. And we're in Glasgow. I'm not just down the road from my house." That kind of thing. Things that made me really panicky. I wasn't like just 2 minutes away from home. It was quite a journey to get there and back, and I didn't have much money at the time, so it was like I didn't know if I was going to get home, that kind of thing. So she said, "Oh, it's fine, we'll go to a different club." And we went to a different club, and it was fine. It was a different atmosphere. It wasn't as many people. It was quite good. So I remember that, but I haven't been out to Glasgow at night time since then, because I feel like I'm going to be panicky. Because I had an opportunity to go to Glasgow a couple of weeks ago, and it made me really upset because I went, "Yeah, sure, I'll go," not thinking, and my brain must have went, "Yeah, you're fine." And then the next day when I was going to go that night, my brain's like, "No, you're not fine. You're not going. Cancel, abort, that kind of thing." And I had to tell my friend that I couldn't go, the same friend that it was her birthday party for, tell my friend I couldn't go, and I was gutted because I felt like, oh, anxiety is won and I've lost again. And it's been like that for the past couple of years, since college really, because I left the college course because my panic attacks kept getting bad. They kept happening in class. I kept having to leave the classroom. I'd be upset and no one would really understand what was going on, and I just felt like I was a bit of a weirdo. So I left because it was too much. Actually, I kind of dogged it for a while. Like, I just stayed off, and then my friends kept messaging me from college, "Are you coming in? We've got this to do, we've got that to do. The lecturer's worried about you. What's going on?" So, and then when I came in, it was like, "No, I can't. Every time I come into this class, it's like I'm freaking out." So that's really all the panicky bits, and so I'll give you a wee chat about how I cope with being anxious or having anxiety or whatever you would call it. So I know I'm anxious. So I know what situations I don't like to be in. And I know it's not a good thing, but right now that's how I'm coping. So if I feel like it's unsafe in my head, it might be fine. But if it's unsafe for me, I'd just avoid it. If I'm going to, because my friend had a party, one of my other friends had a party last night, and I didn't go because I didn't know anyone else apart from him, and I wanted some more people. I didn't really know anyone else, and it made me feel a bit anxious because he is down the road from where I stay, but it's a red flag to me. But I'm sorry if I get, I'm just a bit nervous, as you can tell. So I didn't go that last night because I felt anxious, and I don't mind feeling anxious sometimes, but it annoys me because it's like this little fighting battle. It's like you either win the battle or you lose the battle, and it's always the winner's always anxiety at the moment. I sit in my room all day long, do videos. I've got Clean Easy that I do. I'm waiting to be a nanny at some point. So it's that kind of thing. So how I deal with it is not very effective. But if you have a panic attack, this is what I would want you to do. If you have a panic attack, and I know obviously if you have a panic attack, this is the last thing you're probably thinking of doing. But when I had the first panic attack, I remember somebody else saying, which I'm going to, I don't know if I can link it in, but it's Zoella, and everyone knows Zoella. But the reason why I watched Zoella was one of her first videos about anxiety, and this is when I was going through it and I didn't know what to do, how to stop it, how to treat it, that kind of thing. And what she said is, so this is not my, it's a really good thing, but I didn't say it first. Don't claim for me. She said, when you're feeling panicky, now you need to do 5 things. You need to look at something, you need to touch something, you need to, what was the other one? Taste something, so if you've got like a bit of chewing gum or something. So look, touch, taste, hear something, and like smell something. It's like your senses. You need to get your senses aware that you're fine, and then that's how you slow the panic down. And what I've been told by Zoella, and what I learned, was a panic attack can only last, I think as long as, I'm not too sure, I think as long as 5 minutes or as long as 20 minutes, I don't know. I really hope it's only 5 minutes because panic attacks I've had only last 5 minutes, and they do happen like in little bursts, so it's like 5 minutes then fine, 5 minutes again then fine again, that kind of thing. And that's quite normal if you're quite panicky. I feel like I've been rambling on this whole entire video, so I'm really sorry. I'm just wanting to... The reason why I first went on YouTube, the very first time ever going on YouTube, was because I was anxious. And the very first video I saw was Zoella's video of being anxious and having anxiety and all that. And that was the very first video I think I'd ever watched about anxiety. And it helped me. And it helped me learn that, like, we're not alone. So, probably you have, let's say you have 10 friends, because I don't have as many 10 friends, but say you had 10 friends. I would say 3 out of the 10 friends probably have anxiety or some other mental illness, which I really don't want to call mental anymore, because it's not. I have anxiety. I do have depression as well, which I'll maybe do another video of how I cope with that, which is quite a lot harder than this. I had dyslexia. I know that's not a mental disorder, but it's like a disability, so I find it difficult to speak properly, punctuate my sentences like this. So that's why I ramble on, because I don't really know what I'm saying, and I have it written down to help me a little bit, so I'm not rambling on too much. But so if this, I know this video wasn't really structured that well. I'm very sorry. But I hadn't done a video in a couple of weeks, and it would make me a bit anxious to do it again. See, anxious. But if it helped you a little bit to maybe understand what anxiety is, understand how a person with anxiety deals with anxiety, understand how you can, if you have anxiety yourself, how you can try and stop it or try and help it anyway, please give this video a thumbs up if you think it's helped a little bit. If not, then don't. Please leave in the comments below if you want anything else to do with anxiety, with me having depression, me having dyslexia, or like the last video I've done a really short video of my 5 dogs. I can do a sit down story time sort of thing about each individual dog, and you can see them in person, like they can see them sit next to me and stuff like that. So if you'd want any of the kind of videos, please let me know in the comments below, or Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, anything like that. And I will see you next week for another Sunday video. Bye!